Hey, cycle breakers and barrier breakers alike. Welcome to the Fuck That Bullshit Podcast, where we advocate, educate, motivate, and create a safe space for you to embrace the mental wealth of marginalized and disenfranchised communities. We are serving no bullshit knowledge, tools, strategies, and insights. And yes, we will be entertaining. Our goal each episode is for you to leave feeling empowered, ready to take action and make meaningful choices that pave the way to your abundant mental wealth. So enjoy, like, subscribe, share, and discuss. Make sure you save it too, just in case you want to look back at it and get some more tips and things. The PTBS Podcast is for education, empowerment, and inspiration. It is not a substitute for therapy or professional mental health care. If you're in need of additional support, please reach out to a licensed mental health provider. Warning: the Fuck That Bullshit Podcast is intended for mature audiences only. This podcast contains raw, unfiltered conversations about mental health, social issues, and breaking generational cycles. We keep it real, unapologetic, and explicit because healing and empowerment require honesty. We're going to have strong language and adult themes, unfiltered discussions on race, identity, and mental wealth, challenging bullshit narratives without censorship. So if you're easily offended, this might not be for you, and it's definitely not for kids. But if you're ready for bold, barrier-breaking conversations that empower, educate, and entertain, tap in and let's fuck that bullshit together. Let's go.
What it is.
What up, my people? Welcome to the Fuck That Bullshit Podcast.
We is in here.
I don't know what happened to the Choosing Empowerment Facebook page. So if somebody was over there and looking for it there, I don't know what happened. It just stopped streaming there. So like catch us on YouTube or, my page is Shawnnell, your favorite no bullshit therapist, Batiste, and then I'll share it on the Choosing Empowerment page later on. Technical difficulties are what they are.
All the time.
All the time. So, how y'all doing, bros?
I'm in here, living, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Everything is everything. It's good, actually. I was telling y'all earlier, I won't say no here, but it's good. It's good. Cheers to me.
Cheers to you. Yes. How about you, Fred? What's been going on with you?
Same thing. Out there trying to make some money this weekend. Unfortunately, didn't come through. Besides that, everything good.
It's all right. Money is energy. It's gonna flow. It's gonna come.
Yeah. I'm not sweating it.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. So this week, let's see, I did a breast cancer awareness event as a vendor yesterday. That turned out real good. We've got some good new connections and things. Because if nothing else, even if you don't sell merchandise, even if you don't get not a new client, it's always a good spot to get new connections.
Right.
Connections is the key, man.
Yeah. And then the weekend before that, we did the Black Heritage Festival in Houston. And that turned out pretty good. Got good connections from there too and all that. So people I can partner with. So that's always good, I learned how to make merchandise.
Y'all get on that merch.
On
that merch.
I'll be on the website real soon. We're working on that. But that's delicious. And we're going to have some PTBS stuff for y'all real soon. Because I know how to make merch now. And it's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard.
It's not. You can do it too.
Some merch.
I love your voice.
Do some merch.
So today we talking about fuck that. That's still your mama bullshit. We're gonna break down some trauma bonds in the Black family because it needs to be broken. It needs to be broken.
Yep.
So I think I'm gonna play the first clip first, so we can get kind of a baseline and why we got this idea and all that. So here you go. More here you go.
A lot of parents and their kids, if we're gonna be honest, within the black community, don't even have real bonds. It's trauma bonding. A lot of women have kids and will hang on to them kids for dear life because, like, you're how I get my validity. Ain't nothing else in my life done went right except y'all. I'm doing the best I can do for y'all, and y'all doing good, and that is where I get my validity from.
I've seen that. Yep.
And they can't let go. That'll cripple you because now you feeling pressure, especially as men, as young men, you feeling pressure to be your mama's man and her son. So now when I leave the house, now I can't even bond with other women the way that I want to because I don't want to make my mama mad, or I don't want to, make my mama feel like I'm just neglecting her to go be with this new situation. When in reality, that type of like responsibility should have never been placed on your shoulders to begin with.
While I agree with the brother to a certain aspect, and well, no, I can't say that. I agree with him. I agree.
Okay.
Period. I agree with him because I've seen that. But at the same time, I do question like if it's to that extent, like he can't exist in his own personal life. But I've seen, those moms that have that kind of clinching mentality, or those sons that have that loyalty mentality of it, and I've seen where it can cause a rift. I can see it. I was so trying not to, because when I watched the clip earlier, I was like, man, I'm really trying not to agree with him. But I was like, shit, I've seen that.
It's
Shit.
the truth.
It ain't your truth, and
Right. Because I said, man, I'm dumb loyal to my mama, but my mama never, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit ain't never happened. But I was like, I've seen it.
You've seen it.
Yep.
One of the easiest parallels and similarities to that is it Best Man? Y'all seen it with Kevin Hart?
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that
Best Man?
Best Man was Eric D.
No.
I know that was the Steve Harvey shit.
Yeah. That's what it was.
90-day rule. I don't even remember the name of it, but yeah.
That one. That's the one. Cause what's her name? Black Mother of Hollywood. Jennifer.
Oh.
Yeah.
My girl. Yeah.
Remind me of my mama so much.
Yeah.
Because she was the mama in that.
Yeah.
He couldn't stop clinging to her, and it was equal. She was as much in his business as he was allowing her to dictate stuff, right? And he was afraid to say stuff, and because that's my mama and this and that, right, and stuff. And it was just an unhealthy connection. It was unhealthy,
right. And I think in real life we don't see it to that extent because in real life people ain't letting you in their business like that. But even from the outside you can kind of see like, damn man, your mom's kind of, you know what I'm saying? She got a lot of say so. What you do, nigga? You 45. You know what I'm
I've
saying?
seen it to that extent. And when I was living in Richmond, to the point to where it broke up this dude's marriage.
Yeah.
To that point.
Yeah, you can't let that happen.
She was, I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, she was a single mother. Her sons was all she had. So she made them everything. And they did everything. This dude used to, like, she would call, he could be at work. And if she called and made it sound important, he was gone. I'm like, damn, bro, you can't, it just didn't, because I'm super loyal to my mother.
Right, absolutely.
But not like that.
Right. Right.
Not like that, I'll do for my mother, but I got a family to take care of. They come first,
Right. But you also have to have that kind of parent that's gonna put you in that kind of position too. You know
Right,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
mama don't play like that.
never really put us
Right.
in no
Yeah,
position.
she ain't never put us in those scenarios like that. But yeah, I mean, I could see it. I could see it. I mean, that's crazy unhealthy. That's family therapy, right? You do family?
That's me. I do
How
family
would they
therapy.
need?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because everybody needs to go. Everybody on the couch.
Yeah, the whole family.
Yeah.
Like his whole family needed to go. Like
Yeah.
it was bad.
And usually that's what it is, because that a single mom, again, and because she hasn't dealt with her stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's usually not just the marriage. It's before that. It's childhood trauma. It's what her mama went through. It's all the stuff.
Right.
Keep taking that stuff back, right? And then, and I can look at even my mama, right? Because my mom was a single parent, and so I was like, my role as the oldest was kind of like, her friend and take care of these kids, right? And
Right.
stuff. And then my brother being the only boy, that was like her man. That was like her husband. Like that was the man of the house and all that. That was too much for my brother. You need that.
Yeah.
Probably why.
That's one thing I can say. My mama ain't never told me I was the man of no
In and
goddamn
out.
house.
Yeah.
That shit. I wouldn't even want that charge.
Exactly. And then he found that now he didn't have an unhealthy bond with her like that,
Right.
And all that. Not that my mama wasn't in all of
Oh.
us.
Okay.
I think he told me that he recognized that every woman that he was dating, it was kind of through that lens of saving mama, because he's like, mama deserves to be loved and a good, and I'm like, yeah,
Right.
but like, you can't fix that for her. You can't
Right.
fix that through the other people, right? And
Right.
he recognized only a few years ago, he was like, I think I was trying to save mama through my relationships, because I would date women who were single moms and I knew they deserved more and better. And I was like, nah, I see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
So it's unhealthy.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, like with anything, it's some pros. There's some positives. But anything in excess is abuse. So you know what I mean. So
right.
yeah, it definitely it teeters on the line, man. It sounds good, he said like, man, I'm down for my mama like 4 flat tires. Yeah, bro, but you got to be inside at 10 o'clock and you're 45 years old because you're down for your mama. You know what I'm saying?
And I have seen that 10,000 times. And somebody ain't moved out the house. They loyal to their mama. Like they really still taking care of her and all that. And I'm like, so how you gonna get a woman? Because
right, yeah. Women ain't gonna be down for that extra duty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's your other woman at this point.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
It turns into your extra woman, right? And usually that happens because of there's a trauma bond, right? And trauma bonds happen because there are needs that weren't met or things that happened in the past, and you kind of trying to fix them through the connection to somebody else. And sometimes sometimes it's a familiar trauma, right?
Right.
I was abused, you was abused, let's get married.
Right. Let's be abused together.
All right.
Unity abuse.
And they wind up in some way, shape, or form abusing each other, right? Yep. And people often mistake trauma bond for love, because it feels good, it feels familiar, it feels, you see me,
right,
me, right. Now we're gonna get together and we're gonna understand each other, because you understand, but they never healed the thing. Exactly. If they don't heal the problem, because and I tell people all the time, like, but just because you start as a trauma bond don't mean necessarily it has to stay that way, but you have to heal what the trauma is, because it's still be seen, heard, and understood and stuff like that. We all seeking that, but like, to what extent? Extent? And if you don't grow in a relationship, then you just end up divorced.
Yep.
And stuff. So also attachment styles matter, because and there's several different attachment styles. You heard of attachment styles before?
No,
never
had.
No.
I'm trying to keep up with you though.
You kind of froze.
Yeah, you're in the past. Like you froze. Yeah, you froze, but the audio never stopped.
What?
We was just letting it run. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right.
it's gonna come back.
It's gonna come together. It's gonna come together.
Yeah.
So, like,
so now your video is in the past,
yeah,
and your audio is in the present. You know, you're current.
yeah, your video trying to catch up
It'll
with
catch
the
up.
present.
Okay.
Yep.
Like you're in a time loop.
Yeah.
This is so fucked up. I really wish this thing would be right all the time. Oh shoot. Okay.
I thought you was getting AT&T this weekend.
I'm waiting on them to go live in the neighborhood, man. Like,
Oh yeah, you got.
I saw the trucks though. I saw the trucks, and so I know it's coming. I know it's coming. So, so attachment styles. That's all I'm about to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's an anxious attachment style. There's secure attachment style, which we all strive to have.
Mm-hmm.
There is what I said: anxious, avoidant, and fearful. And those attachment styles are usually based in how your relationships are with your parent or parents, right? So if I didn't get enough of what I needed, and depending on how I bonded with that parent determines how I bond with my mate and all that. Okay. So for example, me and my mama, you know, it was you my best friend one moment, and then the next moment, you know, you my daughter and take care of these damn kids. And so it felt like a give and take all the time. Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be at, right. And am I your best friend today? Or do I need to take care of these kids? Right. And so it made me anxious. And so and there's a test for all that too that you can like take, and they'll tell you what your attachment style is. And mine is anxious. No, it's anxious preoccupied, right? And so that shows up in relationships when if he don't call me, then I'm nervous. Do he still like me? Do he still care? Okay. You still like me? You know, yeah, girl. Shit. You know, oh, just checking. All right, love you, bye. You know, and all that. So, but once I learned that about myself, it helped deal with the thoughts that happen when those anxious thoughts, because nothing will have to happen for it to pop up in my head.
Right. Shitty thing about anxiety, right? It come out of nowhere.
It come out of nowhere, right? And all that. Because I remember he was on a boat trip with his family and all that. And so, you know, if you don't get the package to be able to call people, you can't be calling people, right? On the boat,
right?
And all that. So I'm like, I ain't gonna talk to you for a week. I was like, I know that. Cool. By day 3, I'm like, what if you brought another woman on the boat? What if?
Damn, you went that's all the way there.
Damn.
It was crazy. And when I was saying it out loud, because Nay deals with borderline personality disorder, right? And so she has anxious thoughts all the time. And so when I said it out loud, she was like, Lord, I'm glad you taught us to speak all of that stuff out loud, because when you say it out loud, it sounds silly, don't it?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, it do. I'm glad I said it out loud. Because in your head, you just start ruminating, you start building more stuff in your head. And you know, next thing you know, you're like, let's break up. And he's like, wow, I went on a
trip you knew I was going on. Yeah.
Right. So, and I teach people that in therapy too, like they'll get super anxious about a thing. I was like, are you making all this up? You have evidence for this? Like did you ask any questions? You ain't say nothing. You just assumed they ain't want to talk to you no more. Okay, check in. Like, let them know.
I just assume everything good till I see you.
Exactly. You know, and I mean, it happens in men and women too, though. And then a lot of people that have like avoidant attachment styles, you'll see them like self-sabotage when things get good, or things are like, you know, feeling good, the relationship going well, and then they do some dumb shit to fuck it up.
Right.
So it's just
I've seen that before.
You know, so when I'm working with couples, even when I'm working with people individually and they start talking about this stuff, I was like, let's check your attachment style and see like where you're going with that. And so I think when you come to the mother-son bond or the single parent bond and all that, like it's an unhealthy attachment, right? Is them, like he said, looking for validity, looking for validation in that relationship because I can't find it nowhere else. And I think it happens with all, ethnicities and races and culture, of course. But we talk about Black people on this show because we Black.
Indeed.
So,
Right.
so I think in Black people and Black women, it's a little different, and also tied into the fact that the world don't like us, right? We already dealing with the society that don't like us, so I can't get validation anywhere else. So all I can do is find it in my children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's a connection point there too. So I'm gonna play this next clip of this lady talking about raising Black children.
And what was important for both of you about raising Black daughters?
And trying to give you a sense of confidence in who you are, that you were not only good enough, but that you were more than enough, because the world was going to tell you that you weren't. And so your father and I were always over rotating on how good you were. You know, that call and response that we always had.
Yes.
I'd say, Brooke, what are you?
I'm special.
And you had to say that over and over again because I knew the world was going to tell you or try to make you think that you weren't. So I think it was always instilling in you and your brother a sense of understanding that you were Black before someone else made that something negative about you, wearing that as a sense of pride and understanding where your people had come from, and not no one making you feel small about your skin or your life or what you loved.
Yes.
The Naked Beauty Show. I would have thought that was something else if I wouldn't saw that clip.
I know when I saw that too, I was
Naked
like,
Beauty, and they all Black. Yeah.
roll with it. Oh goodness gracious. So do y'all feel like we need to raise our children in a different way and see themselves as Black first, like she said?
Well, I don't know that that's a different way. I mean, because that's how I raised all my kids. You know what I mean?
Versus other folks, you know what I'm saying? Like as a Black community, just saying.
Right.
How important is that?
As the community as a whole, yeah. I when I saw the clip, when I was watching the clip, I kind of agree with it. We kind of do need to jump in front of that because, especially now, because it didn't got to a point to where it didn't got so blatant. Now it's almost like
you
Jim
shouldn't
Crow
be surprised to be
all
called
over
a
again.
nigga. Yeah, just hey nigga. Right. So yeah, it is. It's definitely important. The shitty thing is you shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? Like most things, like you shouldn't have to do all of that, man. You should be raising your kids to grow up just to be good people, but right, you got to go through all these extra changes. Curse you, racism. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hell yeah, I think it's important, and I think that's a good flow, and it's good to start it early because for the child it'll just be a normal thing to see themselves that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
To, you know what I'm saying, to appreciate themselves on a different level and not have to justify verify their existence by Gucci or Prada or whatever the fuck else is out there. I just learned about mother jeans. I didn't even know that was a thing. Still don't really know what the fuck it is.
Wait, mother jeans?
Yeah, mother jeans. Yeah, it's supposed to be some expensive jeans and things. I was like, oh shit, I ain't never heard of that shit.
I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, I think I stopped caring about the name on something after shout to Adidas, and that was in the 80s. You know, so I think that was the last time I gave a damn about anything like that. I think
the last excitement I had was maybe 12 or 13 when I got my first pair of Jabos.
Oh yeah. Jabos was a big deal, right? Yeah.
I love them. I wore them. I couldn't wear them no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a Jabot, the suspended joint, the overalls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, you remember them? He said, "Where them motherfuckers were?" with the one joint down, looking like a fashionable farmer. Yes, sir.
It takes Black people to bring farming uniform and make it fashion.
And just make it style. Yep.
Put that shoulder down. Put that strap
You
down.
don't think that what she was talking about, I don't feel like it's new.
Right,
Like we
definitely
used to
not.
do that in the 60s and the 70s. Like everything, and maybe that's why I kind of like that era for Black people.
Me too.
Because
Me
I
too.
felt like everything from us was positive.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
well, I mean, because we was proud to be Black. You know what I mean? And I mean, and it'll come back around again because
Yeah.
it came back around in the that was in the 90s. You know, when Public Enemy and all that was out, and Farrakhan was a household name. You know, that proud to be Black persona. It's going to come back. It's just right now niggas then got caught up in getting the bag.
Right.
Yeah. And they basically bought them out. You know what I'm saying? They bought out that positivity. So all that view to look at ourselves. And then of course, you know, Umar was a heavy disappointment. So, you know, because people thought that was gonna be the bring back.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like he was gonna start this new thing, but nah, not yet. It's not time yet.
not
But
yet.
it definitely will
I
come
see
back.
it building up. I see it building up, you know, in Black women and in Black men. Right. I'm having a lot more Black men to come to therapy too. So, like,
we realize, you know, it ain't a bad thing.
Right. Yeah, it's really not. It's really not. And I'm seeing more Black men who are trying to figure out their own way, but like because they're good guys, you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't shit niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like they're good guys, and they're like, how come this shit keep happening to me? You know,
right.
You're picking the wrong people. Maybe you need to like set some boundaries or something, but like the way you're doing it ain't the right way and all that.
Right.
But I think that also comes back to these like attachment styles and the trauma bonding and all that, because you'll connect yourself with somebody. I always say like a needy person will attach themselves to a people pleaser, right? Because people please like to please and they're needy, right? But then it becomes an imbalance. It becomes an unbalanced relationship.
Right.
And that's something that you also learn from inappropriate parenting and inappropriate attachment, right? Because if I learned as a kid to give, or I'm like chasing my parent for love, then that's what I learned in these streets. I got to chase people for love. So when people actually just love me, I'm confused. Like, what you mean you just love me? I need to do something, right? I need to do something. I need to do something to love me, right? You know, because everybody deserves to be loved just because they exist.
Right.
You know, and that's something that most of us don't. And I think as children, like we don't, if you have a parent that is, for example, you can get, and I think you mentioned it before, Brian, with men, you don't get the hug or the affirmation and all that unless you do something like get good grades, or
it's a purchase, right?
It's a purchase, right? You know, and stuff like that. And so you start learning that in adulthood, like if I'm not doing anything, right? And it brought me to, because I'm working with a couple now that and I mentioned there's a thin line between reciprocity in a relationship and transactional.
Okay.
All looking for like relationships are reciprocal, right?
Right.
And if it's symbiotic and not parasitic and all that, then we're giving and taking, you know? Right. So I do stuff, you do stuff, we looking out for each other and all that. But people are confusing that with transactional, like, okay, I have to do this thing in order to get this thing.
Right. Yep.
And that's the difference. There's a difference. And I think if I was to describe the symbiosis or whatever, like being able to reciprocate, it's more of a, I want to take care of you kind of thing. I want to love you in this way. So I'm going to do these things because these are things that you need. And I see you need it. So I'm going to take care of it. I don't expect anything in return. But if you feel the same way about me, you're naturally going to do that.
Right. Exactly.
Versus, well, I did the damn thing. Now give me some.
Right. Where my thing at?
Right.
It's like, I did your thing.
But where's my thing? Right. And I've seen that break up relationships. right? You know,
Mhm.
I think that's what broke up my relationship. You know, is not
The
having that,
push and pull. Yeah.
yeah, and not having the natural. You do what you're supposed to do, then I'm gonna do what I do. Yay.
Right.
And stuff. But I think we learned some of that from our parents, or not getting what we need from the parents to begin with, and all that. And I kind of looked at different dyads of relationships, like mother-daughter, mother-son, father-daughter, father-son, and kind of looked at how those things play out. And
Right.
so starting with mother and daughter, a typical bond can be like enmeshment, which is like two, like me and my mom, we was like best friends. We shouldn't have been best friends. We shouldn't have been best friends. Not
Right.
when I'm a kid. Not when I'm a kid, right? So I know too much of her business, and she thinks she could be in mine because I'm a kid, right?
Right.
Um, Very high standards. Um, and daughter becomes mom's confidant and little partner. And so the common wounds there are the body and beauty policing, which I experienced with, I'm feeling like I was fat and controlling.
Mhm.
Comparisons. I've seen that in people where like, why you don't be more like your sister, your brother, your auntie?
Right.
So
Right.
it's, and here's my favorite: I sacrifice so you owe me. Jealousy.
Mm.
Hmm.
You don't know what I did, and I see that in a lot of single parents. Like they don't
Mhm.
understand what I went through to do it. Well, mama, you supposed to do the thing because you're a
Yeah.
mom, and that's
Yeah.
what moms do. It's you was about to say something, bro?
No, 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 no. I was just like when you said that, I was like, I've heard that. Like I heard that recently. Right.
Recently.
Right. Mm-hmm. Recently.
So,
I've heard somebody say that.
in adults, you see people pleasing. This is all me too. I'm just saying people pleasing, caretaking fatigue. I didn't have this one, fear of surpassing mom. I didn't have that fear. However, every time I made an accomplishment, my mom was like, "Yay, but boo, but
Mm.
yay, but
Hmm.
boo." Right? Because when I found out I was valedictorian, and
Right.
at first she was like, "Well, that's good." And then I was like, "Yeah," because my friends all like, "Man, I didn't even know you were smart because you cool." I was like, "You could be cool and smart and all that." And then my mom was like, "Well, I don't know why they saying all that because you still acting funny around here." And I was like, "Oh, I
Ooh,
didn't
wow.
think I was, but okay." But I think there's a I'm proud of you thing, but there's also a subconscious I'm jealous, right?
Hmm.
Because she was pregnant with me trying to graduate, and and back then she couldn't even stay at the school. She had to go to the pregnant lady school, right?
Yeah.
So I could
I,
feel her.
I never thought about it like that though.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know, because we was just proud of you.
right.
You the second one in the family. We only had one.
But I think I learned to understand it better with my baby, with Gray, right?
Yeah.
And I recognize that like you can break a cycle and you can um prevent a thing from happening, right? So like I created an environment where my daughter could say that she's anxious, right? So as an adult, she's growing up, she's real anxious and all that. And she's scared to get a job. She's scared to do the things because the world is way crazier than it was when I was growing up, right? And
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so she's like, I don't know how to do these things, or I don't want to do these things, or it's scary out there. And I found myself going happy that she was able to say it and be able to help her work through it. But all of us are anxious walking out the house, trying to be adults, and like it's a scary time, right? It's a scary thing.
Right.
You've done that before, and all that. And with somebody who has anxiety, it's even worse because they think in the worst case scenario. And as I've gotten older and realized how anxious I actually am, I was like, oh yeah, I had to have been anxious then too. I had to be. I had to be scared out of my mind and all that. But I had no choice. I had to get out there and do it. And so I found myself looking at her and going, man, I'm proud of the fact that I done did that. But then the 18-year-old in me is like, bitch, get out here and do what you got to do.
Right. Right. Because we just had to go do it.
Yeah.
You know, when it was time to go, it was time to go. Because now you got me thinking like the first time I had to pay bills by myself.
Right.
You know, I'm like, okay, like, and if you think about it now, paying bills is simple.
Right. It is.
But when you like 20
Mm-hmm.
and you in your own apartment, because after high school, I went to Job Corps. So technically people were still taking care of me, but they had us taking care of ourselves.
Right.
So they taught us, how to, how to do this, how to do that, but they didn't teach us how to pay bills and balance a checkbook and all of that. I mean, I told my first checking account up because I had no idea how to do that shit. None.
Right.
Like zero. And when I was in my once I finally figured it out, I got mad. I got pissed off because I was like, I got all these people in my family. Why y'all didn't teach me how to do this?
Right.
But then on the same aspect, I was like, you could have just kicked your pride to the side and just asked somebody.
Well, okay.
And because I learned how to take accountability a long time when taking accountability wasn't popular.
Right.
But I did ask after I told the checking account up. Of course, I went to the financial expert in the family, and she explained to me what I did wrong, and she actually apologized for not showing me how to do that.
That's what's up. Now that's what's up.
For not showing me how to do that, because that was something that I had to learn.
Right.
I don't think my mama had a checking account.
Maybe, yeah, and that's what I'm thinking too. I remember paying bills, but like I never remember my mama having like a checking account. So I'm pretty sure she did at some point. But I remember like getting a money order and going to the, to Swagman or something, go getting a little bill line and paying the bills and stuff like that. I remember doing that. But you're right. I had to learn the checking account thing myself too. I had to figure that thing out too. I don't remember how I learned. I probably fucked up some shit too.
No, I remember how I learned. Everything was going good because then too, I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. I was finally an adult. I could do what I wanted to do. So my ass was at the club every other fucking night and just doing shit.
Right.
I knew I had to pay my rent. I knew that.
Right.
But the rest of that, I knew I had to pay it, but I didn't pay attention. Oh, I'll get it when the money due. And then the bill went past due before the money came. And guess what? Come home, you hit the light switch. Not a damn thing happening.
No lights. So what I also saw, I said also on adult symptoms, difficulty receiving rest or support. And I did have a long period of time where I felt like I had to work more than anything else.
Yeah.
Now I do a lot of work just because I'm an entrepreneur. So I did take a lot of different things. And until I get somebody in all these spots to do these different roles, then I'm going to be doing them and all that. But before I felt like I couldn't sit down. And I think that's a symptom in the Black community anyway. Like you got to keep working. You got to keep moving. Like if you stay still, you must be, you're lazy something if you ain't.
Yeah. I can speak firsthand on that. Just from having everything done and just sitting down and chilling. Wife walk in the room. It's like you just got to jump up.
Yeah.
Even though you've done everything. There's nothing to do. But just from back in the day, if you sitting down and you doing nothing, get your lazy ass up. I know it's something to do around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that. So in that relationship for mother and daughters, here's the cycle breaking moves. You have to name the parentification, which I did. Separate empathy from enmeshment. So like my mama would ask for stuff like, especially when I started going to school, if I got a student loan check, my mom be like, loan mama such and such a monies. And I'd be like, and then I realized after some time, she's not gonna pay you that money back. So I just started calling. I said, hey mama, let's stop using the word loan. If you need something and I got it, I got you. You know, so like let me know what you need. And if I'm able to, I'm gonna give it to you, right? I never gave anything that I couldn't afford to give her, right? And it also kept me from, like you said, it's like a responsibility and an accountability. Like my money, especially student loan money and such, you know, I need to pay my room and board, right?
You gotta have somewhere to live.
Right. So like taking care of my stuff and anything that was left, if she, you know, if I wanted to be able to give her something out of that, I would do that. And then I wouldn't feel resentment, right? And stuff like that. Because I knew for a fact it wasn't alone and all that. So I was able to feel empathy and help her out, but not to my demise, you know. And then building body neutrality and self-mothering ritual. So basically what I had to do was parent my inner child. I had to like self-talk and remind myself that the voice in my head is not always mine, it's my mama's voice. And it came out of her pain. So I had to separate myself from that so I could be healthy for my children. And that I wouldn't do the same to them. So moving to the mother-son. Mm-hmm. Typical bond. What?
Can you refresh your screen? Is there refresh?
Let me see.
Yeah, hit reset.
Yeah, hit the little
hit this little red button say reset.
Low.
Yeah. You know, oh, okay. Yeah. That's one way to refresh.
Shawnnell's gone.
Right. Now we can talk about the real shit. Did we win today? Did the Saints win today?
Shit.
We lost.
Were winning. We were winning. Yeah. There you go. You back in the present.
Yeah, now you crystal clear and you in the present.
So smart, bro. I was sitting there going, what can I do to fix this?
Right. Yeah, I think if you pop out.
First thing I did was close all those tabs that I had open.
Oh, you wanted them.
Didn't we talk about tabs in the past?
We did talk about this in the past, and I messed up today. So I mean,
you wanted them people. Close your goddamn tabs. I got to tell my wife that all the time.
Using them tabs.
Got 50 windows open.
Every time I think of a thing, I open a tab for it. I can't help it. I just got to remember to close them.
Okay? Yeah, that my wife do that too. I don't want to lose where I was at. And then you asking me, come look at my computer. I don't know why it's running slow. And all I do is come over there and go click, 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 click.
That joint get faster and faster. Jesus Christ.
All right, we're going to get ourselves together, I promise. All right. So I don't know how much you heard, you know.
No, your audio was fine. Your audio was fine the whole time.
Okay. Just that it wasn't matching up.
Right.
Yeah, your voice was
you'll see it on the replay.
Okay.
But for the Spotify, it's perfect.
Yeah. For Spotify, it's going to be
Spotify, you fired. Yeah, your voice was in 1983. was here, but your video was in like 85.
You're so stupid.
You was getting there. You was getting there.
It was making it. But it was driving Brian crazy. So he's like, fix that shit.
I'm telling you.
Yes. So we move on to the mother-son connection and bond. The typical bond. And these are unhealthy bonds, by the way. Okay. Pedestal plus protection. And that's part of what that video was talking about, like putting him in a position of manhood before you're a man.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing from all of y'all men that, you know, understanding and being a man is difficult anyway, because you're trying to always figure out like what that means.
Right.
Yeah, it means different stuff to different people.
Well, and it's an unfair depiction, and I'm pretty sure I've said this before, because a lot of the rules to what a man is not. None of those rules were created by men. All those rules were created by women or based on women. A lot of rules to what a man is based on what needs meets a woman's needs. You know what I'm saying? Very, very rarely, because it's like, oh man, you gotta be you gotta take care of a woman. That's what being a man is. Well, where the part where right, yeah. So what if I don't have a woman? Then well, you ain't got no woman. Look, even here, you ain't got no woman, man. What kind of man are you? So now you're questioning my manhood because I don't have a woman in my life. You know what I'm saying? So a lot
being
of
a man is definitely directly connected
exactly
your relationship with women.
Yep.
Hey, that's a show.
Too many cans. Very few cans, you know.
It's fluid. Being a man is fluid.
For real. Just depends on who you're talking to and what they need.
Oh, by the way, yeah, we lost. Yeah.
What, Saints?
Hell yeah.
Who that?
We still love our Saints.
I'm still.
Even when they lose.
Still. Don't talk about my Saints. I don't care if they lose. They got blown out today, but that's all right.
They still our Saints, though.
I'm gonna talk trash about them, but can't nobody else talk trash.
Not on air. Off air. I'm gonna talk about them like shit.
Talk shit. On air, who that? That's it. So mother son typical bond, pedestal plus protection, and then son becomes emotional husband, covert caretaking, or the golden child. Yeah. Yes.
I don't think we had. Well, no, we wasn't the golden kids.
Nah. I think. Well, in our household, it was a team effort. You know, so everything was always like kind of like us three thing. And even after Booty, it was a us three thing because she was like a baby and all of that. So it was more like a team thing. So because I think it was a good balance. You know what I mean? Like I said, my mom never put us in no position where you the man of the house and all that bullshit. Because she wasn't playing that, and I ain't want it. You know, and I think I understood what adulthood was pretty early on. It was like I have no interest in this shit until I have to. You know.
Yeah, and I think shit. If she would have did that, it'd have been bad for y'all because her standards were high.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I couldn't have lived up to that.
Yeah, you could have lived up to that. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd have been living across the street by Shawnnell. Still sleeping in that room to this day.
Right. So common wounds are over responsibility, guilt for autonomy, anger at boundaries, and then mom fears the world's violence. Then that equals over control. So, and I've seen mothers do that too. Like, I don't want my son to get eaten alive out there.
Right.
So it's an overprotection and all that.
Right. And again, like that particular one, like it's in theory, it's right. You know what I mean? Like you don't want nothing to happen to your kid. But again, it's like if it's over the top where you hindering that child from living and experiencing and all of that, and not to give that usual, you can get hit by a bus. Yeah, you can get hit by a bus, but if you never ever go in the streets, you reduce that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, right. Yeah.
You never cross the street is very rare Greyhound gonna come through your living room. It's possible, but it probably won't have. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but I get that,
worry. Yeah, my wife worries about Tyrese. He's 20. So he just getting out here now. He got him a job. He driving. He all that. And I get it. But like and I tell her like he got to get out there. They got all of them did. They all got to get out. We had to get out there.
Right.
Got to take that chance of getting run over by that bus.
Right. Yeah. But if you don't go out there, then you don't know what to look for. You don't know how to avoid the bus. Right.
Exactly. Shit, you might not know what the fucking bus is. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's necessary. I mean, it shouldn't hinder your life, though. It shouldn't hinder your development, rather. You know
that part, because experiences is what makes us who we are, and experiences help us to learn things, right? And You know, it's like Nemo when he was talking to Dory and he was like, I promised I wouldn't let anything happen to him. And she said, wow, that's a weird promise. Because then
Right.
nothing ever happened to him.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
you know. So what else? So the adult symptoms you find in the adult boys, men, is a savior complex, difficulty committing, and to avoid choosing a partner over their mama.
Right.
And then shut down in emotions. I see that a lot. I see that a lot. With the shutting down the emotions. Because I don't feel nothing, you know, except for my mama, because I can feel about my mama because that's my mama. But everybody else I can't feel nothing about, and then they can't express emotions appropriately in a marriage or, you know, partner relationship.
Right. But
I
don't see, I think I attribute that more to society's view of what a man what a man can and can't do. Because and I know I've said this before, a man being vulnerable or crying or anything like that is only acceptable at funerals, and like I said then, it better be your mama,
right,
or anger. Those are the only two emotions that are not questioned in manhood. The reason why a lot of times with that man can be more open of my mama, because that is the only female in his life he can be 100% vulnerable with and never get judged. I don't think that's a parenting thing. I think that's more a societal thing, because you could be with a woman for, like, I'm gonna give it a short, long period of time. So like 3 years, and you upset and crying and think you can do that then, and then you scared that woman gonna jump and be like, you ain't no real man, nigga, in here crying it because she was listening to Cardi B earlier. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a put down. So then you get that shut down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times a man don't know how to act in front of women. So we put on that fake TV power fucking 50 Cent persona. Like, this is how we act all the fucking time, and that's bullshit. You know?
I can feel that. But I think, and I was saying that to Fred earlier when you stepped away, like, because I think it's more combined because of the societal standards, especially for Black folks too. You know, because we dealing with the societal stuff, and then now I got to deal with my mama stuff, and then now my mate, and like I don't know where I stand, right? In any relationship, because I already been taught out in these streets that, you know, Black ain't good, right? And so you combine that with the mom son thing and all that. I think it's double fold. I think it folds over twice then. With the manhood thing.
Could be. Yep.
So what else we got? So the cycle breaking moves in that relationship is redefine manhood beyond service and sacrifice.
That's difficult. That's all we know how to do is be a service and sacrifice. You need me to build a wall? I could build a wall. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah.
That's hard. That's a hard one. And like I just said, then what is manhood is defined.
Right. Exactly. Like, look, it's a heavy thing. Don't worry about it, baby. I got it. And that's we'll automatically, you know, we'll blow our back out doing some kind of manual labor shit. So it's hard to define yourself. I'm looking at me right now.
Yeah.
And I can't think outside, like, what the hell else do I do? I mean, I make a mean baked chicken. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know what I'm saying? But even that's servitude. You see what I'm saying? So you know, that's good. We have to dig deeper into that.
Dig deeper for this one, right?
Yeah.
All right. So then it's coach mom son boundaries that keep love, but end emotional spousal roles. So like basically your mama husband.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
And mama, stop asking them to be that. Like,
yeah, for real. You shouldn't even want that.
Either find your own man or learn to live single and happy.
Yep. That or it's gonna be like baby boy.
Or it's gonna be like baby boy.
It's gonna be like baby boy up in your house.
Exactly.
But do you think because I'm gonna say this, and we didn't say it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Percy, when I got older, and I don't know if he had the same conversation with you, B, but he explained being a man from a man's experience, from his experience, what to do and what not to do.
Okay.
I'm big on never expect people to do something for you because you are doing something for them. I got that from him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he told me just because you do something for somebody don't mean they're gonna do the same thing for you. So if you do it,
I wish he'd have had that talk with me.
you wasn't around, man. You wasn't around.
No.
So he was always like, so if you're gonna do something, do it because you want to. Don't feel like you always have to do something for your wife, girlfriend, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and it was a lot of other stuff. We'd be here all day if I went through all the stuff he said there talking to me in that garage with a pony.
Pony.
Yeah. So, but I know a lot, and since we've been doing this podcast, I done had a chance to do a lot of research, see a lot of good videos, stupid videos, and I've seen some videos where I see the mothers who teaching their daughters, you don't need a man, they ain't good. You can
now that's trauma. That's trauma. Yeah, that's 100% off day shit.
Those are the ones I noticed that always end up like having doing the son doing everything that a husband would do.
Yeah, the inappropriate relationship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get that unconditional love from your son.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's what we call emotional incest.
Yep. You know what? That's a real term.
That's that a real term?
Yeah.
I'm
Emotional incest.
That shit.
Yeah.
You an emotional incest.
Because it's the inappropriate. It's the inappropriate connection. It's inappropriate bond, right?
Yeah.
You ain't got to be having sex with your son,
right?
In order to inappropriately bond with him.
Right.
If he feels so dedicated to you that he can't focus on nothing else, like he can't have no old lady, without worrying about what mama gonna say, do, or what I still gotta do for her, or like that. That's way unhealthy. So yeah, that's acceptable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Too much deep connection, like that ain't.
I mean, like when you said you and your mama was like best friends.
Yeah.
I was never Mona's best friend.
Exactly.
Shit, I don't think for a long time I wasn't her friend.
Yeah.
And she would tell me that.
Yeah.
But there's a balance to it because because I know Mama has put me in that friend mode where Mama's teaching me how to play spades.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, you want to learn how to play spades?" So it was just me and her at home, but it was a little kid. So and she's showing me, and she got Bottles and James wine cooler. She said, "You want a wine cooler?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want a wine cooler." You know what I'm saying? So and I was in high school. So we sitting there drinking wine coolers. I'm learning how to play spades. She was like, "You want a cigarette?" And I was like, I said, "All right."
Yeah,
I took one puff of that shit. I was like, "Nah, I don't want that." That shit was nasty as shit. So I'm like, "I'll take the wine cooler." But at the same time, never took me out of she never allowed me to go out of perspective as a son. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I was 16. You know what I'm saying? I was 16 at the time. So, but at the same time, there wasn't gonna be no time I was gonna walk in the house and be like, yeah, man, you know, fuck that shit. I ain't doing it.
Right, yeah.
You
You
see what I'm
you
saying?
had to swear to Bottles and James now.
Right, exactly. You letting that Baltus and James go to your head. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know you got the Bottles and James. I had the Bottles and James. She gave me one of them before. But when I got older and more mature, she treated me different, kind of like what Brian was talking about, but it never was like I could just walk in and be like, yeah, this motherfucker, you know. No,
right.
That.
But and I mean, and I'm saying that was understood without her verbalizing those exact words. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because I see those parents, you know, and they'll say, yeah, well, you know, I like to let my children express themselves. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but while at the same time you're saying that, you're telling me you had to get on your 11-year-old because your 11-year-old was cussing. But that's because you get, well, you know, if they upset, they can cuss. Skirt, wrong answer. No, they can't. Because what you're doing, you know, again, that's that mentality of just because you know how to drive. You don't get the keys to the car because you don't understand the rules of the road. Just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should be able to do a thing. So a lot of times, you know, people lose perspective in that trying to, and it's not even really a freedom. It's an inappropriate freedom. And you know what I'm saying? Because you express how you feeling, but this little boy was like kirking off, like cussing his ass off, and I'm talking about 11 years old, and I'm like, damn, you know, it's like, well, you know, I like to let my kids express themselves. He don't need to express like that.
Not like that.
You know what I'm saying? Right? There's no point for him expressing like that. And the only reason why he know what he know because he heard you expressing like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big ass difference. You know what I mean? And that too, like that's that inappropriate shit, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I know and you like, you know, you watched the mother-daughter show we did and all that. And you know, I got a bad mouth. My kids got a bad mouth, but they grown. And I also allowed them to use profane words as teenagers, but they couldn't talk to me in a certain way.
And that right. I mean, and that's my bad. That was the point I was trying to make. It wasn't just that the little boy was cussing; he was cussing his mom. Yeah, he was cussing at her. Right. Because if you say, "Yeah, them bastards at school, that damn bitch Tina punched me in the back of my head," okay, you frustrated about a thing, and you still get checked on the word, but you can't come to me and like and say, "Man, fuck that."
Right.
They're not gonna talk like that. They're not good.
And I learned too that like relationship matters in that because like me and Gray just started building relationship when she was about 16 or so, right? And so so her using words like that wasn't because we ain't got the kind of relationship. Nate earned that. You know,
right.
And I already know Nate not gonna talk to me crazy. Like, even if she could be cussing all day long, but when she could turn her head to me and start talking and them words are gone, or if we getting into it, she's certainly not going to use no profane words, right? And stuff like that. And even when me and baby girl got into it and stuff like that, like, I ain't never think I would be toe to toe with a kid, but I did, right? Now I'm like, I can't believe you thought you should fight your mama. And so I remember Nate going, I don't get it because if you raise your hand, I would dare not raise my hand back to you. I would dare. Now, I'm gonna fall every time I say I'm gonna fight you. She'd be like, I don't know who you're gonna fight because I'm just gonna fall on the ground in the fetal position.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna remind you who you fucking with. As soon as I get in this fetal position, you're gonna remember that.
Right. I'm just a baby. I'm your baby.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight you, Mom. I don't want to fight you.
Right.
And all that. But it was because me and Gray didn't have great relationship because her dad had hoarded her because there was the emotional incest there, right? Because it was an inappropriate connection and like ain't nobody tell her nothing and you're not raising her, right? That's inappropriate. You're using her to take care of your needs, right?
Right.
And all that stuff. So we're gonna get to the father-daughter thing in a minute. We're gonna get to that like right now. So father-daughters, the typical bond is like distance or conditional affirmation. And when present, dad's mood is the weather. I don't get that one.
Mhm.
But I know with their father-daughter bond, it was, and I think it was an alignment between them being the youngest, because he was the youngest and she's the youngest.
Mhm.
And so you see parents that might try to relive through the kid and all that
Right.
stuff. So he wanted to kind of, and we figured this out after the fact. Like I think there was a disconnect there between like how his brother treated him and all that. And so he was trying to make sure that Nay treated Gray a certain way. All right. But that meant Gray got away with all kinds of shit. Like she was hitting people and nobody could hit her back. And I'm like,
Right.
crack her over the skull, just don't crack her skull. Okay.
Right. 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 Right.
Put her hands on you. You better do something to that baby because she needs to learn that she can't put her hands on people like that. Right.
Right.
And stuff. And so it was lots of stuff. But then she was around here calling everybody bitches and hoes. And I was like,
Yeah.
Now you know what? I can relate to that because when me and Daphne got together, I made sure like all the kids were treated equal. Because me and Brian, when we were growing up, we were treated equal. Mama didn't treat none of us no different.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got ass whipping because we wouldn't tell on each other. So she just beat the shit out of everybody.
Right. Yeah. And I don't even know
tell with both the ass.
not even equal, but fairly.
Yeah.
Right.
Because y'all are different kids, so she gonna treat you according to your personality, how you are, what your temperament is, and all that stuff. But nobody got any special.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I wouldn't like if it looked like somebody was treating one better than the other one. I'm like, no. If they all can't get one,
then
nobody get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing that because what's gonna happen is when they get over here to you, they're gonna feel like they can do whatever they want.
Exactly.
And all you're gonna do is get them fucked up at the end of the day.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
No.
That's why we got divorced, so let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those kids, they talk about it to this day. They'll be the first ones to tell you, hey, nobody got nothing special. I mean, like, if it's your birthday or you didn't graduate and you brought home a straight A report card. I don't think none. Brought home a straight A report card, but I was just glad they was passing.
Exactly.
You might get something then, but yeah, no.
But nothing outside of that, right?
Yeah,
right.
And nobody, because I don't want nobody when they thought they could like terrorize the other two. We don't do that here.
Right.
Yeah. And even in my house, I had all the adopted girls too, and there was this sense of and I think he taught it because I remember when they started going, I'm biological, and I was like, what?
Right.
I was like, who told her she was biological? Right. She was concerned. These are my sisters, and that's it. Right.
Right.
I don't want no separation because I'm gonna treat these like they came from my womb too. And all that. So I did not want that level of, and matter of fact, and it took Gray a long time because she was a baby when we adopted them and stuff. She was real little. She had no clue that wasn't her biological sister.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's like, the oldest is a little real light skin. Yeah, she Mexican, but she real light skin. Yeah. But she had to figure that out almost on her own and all that. But it should be like that everybody. And I've even, like you said, one don't get, but if the other one don't, I done seen stuff that I want to get for certain kids and held it down in my room until I can get something for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm about to come. Oh, hey, you got this thing. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So keeping it fair. So some of the common wounds for father-daughter is worth is tethered to performance. Trusting men who resemble dad's inconsistency. Or what I see parallel in some other ones is like if a father is like overly taking care of this daughter, then she's looking for that exact same thing from her mate, but it's unreasonable levels of taking care of.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I can't do like your daddy did.
Right, exactly. I'm not doing that. And then craving the grand gestures over steady care. So looking for that
Right.
regular shit. Like you know, regular shit.
And you know, especially with fathers and daughters, like it's all right to do that, but I think, I mean, do it within, you know, being realistic with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's also on those fathers to explain to their daughters, like, you know, I'm your dad. I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do, you know, thus and so. That man ain't gonna do that, you know, not to that extent. Because for one, it's a different kind of bond, and two, y'all doing different kind of things.
You
see what I'm saying? So yeah, because I've seen that where you had I even coworkers and they adults, you know, would say, well, my dad ain't never told me I ever had to do such. Yeah, that man ain't your daddy though. You know what I'm saying? Don't y'all have kids? Which means y'all did something. You ain't doing that with your daddy. You know what I'm saying?
That's a different kind of
connect. Yeah, different kind of daddy. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's the daddy we're talking about.
Right,
you know?
right.
So yeah, and helping people to and it's hard, and it's hard for girls because that is your standard. Like your daddy is your standard.
Right.
So it's like, oh, if my daddy did, okay, but again, that's your dad, right?
Right. And there are certain things you should take from, you know, your father, especially as a daughter, and look for that in a relationship. But none of those things are like you ain't never got to work. You know what I'm saying? Because your father been taking care of you since you was born. Your ass couldn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So helping them to put the right things in perspective and all that. Adult symptoms magnetized to emotionally unavailable partners, hyper-independence with secret longing. And then the cycle breaking moves there are pacing the intimacy and having safe and steady over thrilling and withholding. Mm-hmm. And practice asking without over explaining. Oh, she do that. And then building internal secure father voice. So the voice in your head, like I had to fix the voice of my mom.
Right.
Same thing there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we move to the father-son, and the typical bond there is toughness apprenticeship, feelings equaling weakness, and achievement equaling love.
Thoughts? Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, I don't do that. So, so I don't do that. For a long time, I was kissing my sons on the forehead forever. Like that was some. I still kiss Devontae on his bald head. You know what I'm saying? Still kiss him on his bald head. But
I ain't gonna lie. Like that's I admire that about you and Fred. Like y'all show appropriate affection with your sons, like unapologetically. Like, no, that's my boy. You know,
right.
And so. And how do y'all think, like, with your own dad? Like, do you feel like there was?
I think it was a little more complicated for dad because and he always been in our life, but he wasn't consistent in the household when we were younger. So I think even when we was younger and he would come and get us, it was more like he was come and get us, and I think he was more focused in our younger years on making sure we had a good time and everything was fun and thing.
Yeah.
I think as I know, definitely as we got older, our conversations changed. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, I love it. I love it because I like talking, just talking to him. Finally got him to talk about his childhood.
Word.
Actually a crap load of funny ass stories.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I'm gonna get him to where he kind of opening up about certain things. And Dad didn't talk to us about certain because he talked to us about our grandfather. Because I remember he took me to meet my actual grandfather, who is not Fred Turner. So you know what I'm saying? And I was like, dang, that's cool. But and I remember when he told me the story of how Fred Turner loved my grandmother so much, because when he met her, she was pregnant with Dad.
Okay, word.
Yeah, but he loved this woman so much that he named this child that he knew wasn't his child after.
Wow.
So that led me, you know, in my adult life when I started having kids, and then my first time in a you know, a mine's, hers, and ours child relationship, I thought about that, and that's why I was like, nah, these kids are gonna be my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's you know, sometimes parents give you good nuggets. They think they just telling you something.
Yes.
And the whole time you giving me news I can use. But yeah, but I think as we got older, he found, you know, that balance. And I've always said, you have some parents, especially fathers, like some fathers are not little kid fathers. Like they not as good with the child at 5 years old, but excellent with them 16 and up. And I've always said, and I've said that about myself. I'm like, I know for a fact I'm a teen dad. You know, teenage to adult. Oh, I got you. When you're small, I'm pretty much gonna carry you around all the time. You know, I'm gonna do my little baby things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in a hurry for us to be able to go and get a beer. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'm like, let's go and get a beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, I think
that's what made it easier for me to be able to adopt teenagers too. Because they're like, you don't adopt no teenagers, and I'm like, no,
right.
They can cook for themselves. Like, why would I adopt a little baby? That's
exactly.
Why would I do that? It's
like buying a car with no tires. Yeah, shit. I want the one that's already.
I got that.
Already do shit. Right.
Like that. You know, so that's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool.
I mean, I can agree with him, because like with Aiden, when Aiden was like, when he was a baby and kind of in those babyish years, that was Daphne's kid. I mean, I was there, but like he's 9 now, and I feel like he's more my kid, because now I can get to show him stuff. Like, next time I cut the grass, I'm gonna teach him how to cut the grass.
Exactly.
You know, I like teaching him stuff. So I'm kind of like Brian. Once you start getting in those years where I can start showing you stuff and kind of molding you how to be a man, but not be a simp, but then not be an asshole.
Right.
But I can get you at that stage. Keep you balanced. Like, I don't want you to be the dude that's tricking off your whole paycheck, but then I don't want you to be the dude that's like just a total asshole that's getting jumped by our brothers because you sitting up here talking shit about her all the time. So that balance.
Hey Fred, we can use that as part of that manhood definition. It's somewhere between simp and asshole.
Yeah.
Like, yes, indeed.
Oh, that's Devontae.
Yeah.
Thanks for chiming in, bro. Oh goodness.
No, my nephew got a reputation of hole up there in VA.
I know, huh? Muscle man. That's the man Kingstown, man.
So then we got the common wounds, shame for softness, fear of failure or being like dad, explosive anger when vulnerable. And you was talking about that anger thing, you know?
Right.
When people, and I find that a lot in men, when they feel invulnerable, they get pissed.
Right.
Like, fuck that. Fuck that shit. You know? Adult symptoms, workaholism, risk-taking, rigid self-critique, and intimacy equals performance.
Yeah. But see, the intimacy equaling performance, I think that's a dumb niggas say that shit. And I think that's another one of those things that it's another woman rule. You know what I'm saying? Because your manhood, like, oh, you putting it down, but for real,
okay. Putting it down. Figure out what the hell you was talking about.
Putting it down is not up to the man.
No,
it's up to the woman.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? You could be doing everything you do, if that ain't what the woman liked, then you didn't put it down. You know what I'm saying? Like I figured that shit out in high school. I was like, so when you're putting it down, if you could be doing what most women might look at as the minimum, but it might be the bomb to that woman.
Right.
So then you putting it down at that point. So it's that's what I'm saying. Like that's some bullshit. Too.
Yeah.
And hey, brother,
it's funny you say that, because and me and my boo have that conversation all the time. And I'm like, understand that like the experience is different per person, right? And all that. Right. So it's like, because women be like, oh, I want it this long and I want it this way and that way or whatever. I was like, but dude, I promise you, it's individual per woman. Right.
You
might have mastered a few things that most women might like, and that's cool. But like there are specifics to each person and what they dig and what they don't dig.
Exactly.
Right. You know. Now, are men that complicated? And with regard to women doing what they like, do you find that I don't know if y'all have these discussions, but like is it that simple? You know?
No, it's absolutely not. It's just as complicated for a man. But here's the super complicated part. Men don't get an opportunity to say shit. We never feel like we can say shit. You see what I'm saying? It's very few men that will sit down with their old lady and say, well, you know what? You know, I like it if you do this, if you do that. Oh, nope. It'll more or less come off like, damn, why you don't never do such? You know what I'm saying? Or if see something on TV like, oh yeah, you should try that in some joking way. Because again, another woman/man rule is because most women, I mean, let's be honest, most women think sexually a man just want to have sex.
Right.
And media makes it sound like that. Television everything makes it sound like that. Music, every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So but it's not true. A lot of the things that a woman wants.
Old school R&B.
Well, yeah.
That's true. That's different.
That's because that was adults though too. But most of the things that a woman looks for, you know, that take time, that care, not feeling like a hoe, you know what I'm saying, or a tool.
Right.
Men want the same things. It's just that the woman/man rules to what manhood is we not supposed to say nothing. Most women think that a man just want to take it out, put it in, hump around, and we super satisfied at the end of the day. And that shit just ain't the truth. You know what I'm saying? Shit just ain't the truth. And it's a lot of goddamn work. Shit. Nigga be tired of the motherfucker.
I saw a clip of this man. I guess she kept saying she wanted it for a long time or whatever. He made her like cover the floor.
Oh, I saw it. I saw that one. Yep. And she was exhausted. Yep.
No. Keep popping. She was like, well, I'm tired. He's like,
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. That shit, look, sex was not made to go an hour and 15 fucking minutes.
You don't need that much. Come on.
I watch a lot of Discovery Channel. I ain't never seen no goddamn line.
It's in and out.
Like bam, bam, bam. That's it.
Right. Yeah. It's tough. I seen this one clip. It was this couple, and his wife was in the kitchen, and she was fixing to eat like an Oreo cookie or something. And he was like, wait, don't eat that cookie yet. And he got a pair of scissors and he cut like a little piece of her hair out. And then he set it on top of the cookie. And he said, and she was like, why you did that? He said, let me ask you something. Would you eat that? And she was like, hell no. He said, me either. You need to shave. And walked off. That was dope. I was like, that's some good shit.
That's funny. Oh, Lord.
Hey, good. So, ladies, take care of your man by taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody likes a hairy.
Exactly, man. That shit is not comfortable. It's not comfortable.
That's
trying to fight through the bush.
You know what's funny, though? Because I listened to, yes, we slipped a little bit off topic, y'all. That's what we do. So
that is what we do.
But it's a fun topic. So, like, I've seen clips of men though that are like, we don't care about all that. And so it's hard for us to figure out, like, do you care about that? Do you not care about that? Should I trim it down? Should I shave it off? Just, like, and I get also depending on the man, of course, and all that. But like, I think we keep blanketing everything too. We keep going, okay, men like this instead of going, my man like this or this man like that.
Yeah. I mean, the things that men don't care about is like, I'm talking about a man, not a boy, not a nigga. Men don't care about like if a woman wearing designer clothes. A woman will get hit on in the club where she, did all the extras, and that same woman will get hit on in Walmart and she just ran up in there for some eggs, because that image that most women think men are looking for, they ain't looking for that. We not, Cardi B is Cardi B, but we ain't looking for Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things most men, I think, in that blanket scale don't care about,
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for all of them, but I can sign off on that. You don't need to spend an hour and 15 minutes getting all duded up to go to HEB. You can come in the t-shirt and sweatpants. They gonna still hawk you down.
Exactly. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You might look more sexier to them in the sweatpants.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's true, because if the relationship builds and grows, she ain't gonna walk around looking like the club all goddamn day long. Man, one time back in the 90s, I was in the bottom line. I met this chick and we hit it off, blah, blah, blah. She gave me a phone number, gave me an address. I went to her house that next week, that next Sunday. I went to her house, knocked on the door. She answered the door. And I was like, hey, how you doing? Is such home? And she was like, it's me. I said, oh, no makeup though. I ain't know who it. Right. And that was my first experience with women wearing that much makeup. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you looked that goddamn. She was still good to go. But I'm saying, I didn't know.
I hate those videos when I see, like, I mean, it's a good makeup job. Don't get me wrong. But like,
right.
If you're going to the theater or something, like you in a play, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you can create your makeup to make you look like a whole different person.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a lot of makeup.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
I still want to look like me, just a few little enhancements.
Right, with some color, some extras,
and all that. So, like, yeah, I've seen that 10,000 times. Like that wasn't the same person, but I watched it happen. So,
right,
that's weird. You don't look like yourself. Like, what does that look like the next morning after?
Right, exactly.
You wash your face. Like, who am I with? Like,
right. Right. I was about to say, like, your sister here? Because you kind of look like her.
Right. So that's crazy. All right. So back to our father son there. So we got onto the cycle breaking moves, consent-based mentorship models, language for feelings, anger's undernotes, and fear and grief. So basically talking about the feelings and giving it language. Community rites of passage that blend softness and strength. And I guess kind of like, I think y'all when you're in the garage of Papa, those are great rites of passage, right? You're sharing stories, smoking a little something,
Yeah. Sometimes that happens,
Sometimes that happens. And all that, or like you talking about with your dad, being able to just have those good conversations where they're talking about the old school stuff and sharing those things, because those are gentle man moments and all that with no shame, right? And talking about sensitive subjects,
right? And I think we've been lucky because in our family we've had that, because I've even had those heavy emotional type conversations with Uncle Percy when we were collectively creeping, you know what I mean? I was in high school, so I wasn't even creeping like he was creeping.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like we was he used to call it going on the hunt. But we used to really, really, really chop it up. You know what I mean? So he was giving me advice from like school stuff to business stuff to life stuff to just the basic how you doing. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit. You know what I mean? So I feel blessed. You know what I mean, that we've had, we have had those kind of men in our lives. You know what I'm saying, surrounding us, which gives you a good balance, because as a young man, you need that from all ends. It's
Right.
good if you get it from your dad, but it's awesome if you can get it from your dad, from your grandparents. You know what I'm saying, uncles, cousins, those older people in your life.
Right. And then that reminds me of some of the other videos that friend sent that were talking about like how important it is to have the balance of both parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the problem that we're incurring with the emotional incest is the absence of the other parent.
Yep, you 90% of the time. It's got to be a fact.
Tyrese said that last week
Oh,
that he is, because Daphne asked him, because for some odd reason, some people will make fun of you because you got two parents in the house.
oh, bro.
Stupid.
Because the standard now is different.
Yeah, it's just one.
Mhm.
And no, he said like he was glad that he had two parents in the house, because you get two different perspectives.
Right.
I wish Brian was closer so he could have those kind of conversations with him.
Yeah.
Not so much because it's some stuff that I can't get over to him that Brian probably could.
Yeah.
It's coming from a different person.
Yeah.
Like some of the best advice that I still carry and use to this day, I got from my father-in-law, Teresa dad.
Bet.
Because he lived a totally different life than every man in my family.
Mhm.
So he had all girls. Yeah, he had all girls. So me and my brother-in-law was like the sons he never had.
Yes.
And we were all super close. So I remember I quit the job. I walked off the job because the man was talking shit. The man was talking shit to me. I'm living in this little bitty ass town, Cameron, Texas. At the time, I think they might have only had 3,000 people in this town.
Mm-hmm.
So he talking shit. I'm like, fuck that. I'm out of here. I walked off and left. Explained the whole thing to him, just like my son explains stuff to me now when he called me.
Mm-hmm.
I was hot. Yeah, that motherfucker is telling me this. And he just sat there leaning over the side of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
It went in, because everybody in Texas in the country got a rifle in the back of their window. That was just in the 90s,
Right.
late 80s, early 90s, and an ice chest full of beer.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, give me a beer. Get one. Give me a beer out of there, son. So I jumped in the back of the truck. This was when I could jump in the back of a truck. 57 years old, and I ain't jumping in the back of no damn trucks.
Right.
Gave him a beer, got a beer. We just leaned in there. He said, you know what? I hear you. I understand. He said, but one thing, pride is overrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him like, what in the fuck are you talking about? What the hell pride got to do with? Did you not hear what I just said? Did you not hear what that man just told me?
Crazy. Uh-huh.
And he like, it's gonna be a little hard for you to find a job, but don't worry about it. We got you because we all lived in the same house.
Right.
So, and I'm like, I'm gonna find a job in no time. This is me coming from New Orleans. A little bitty ass country town in Central Texas.
Yeah, not so much, sir.
I think it took me almost a goddamn year to find another fucking job.
Damn.
I learned how to work. I was a cowboy. Basically, they make money. I worked on, this dude had a ranch down the street from us. I learned how to bale hay.
Okay, Fred the cowboy.
Hey, you got to do it, because guess what happened 3 months after that? My wife goes, hey, we're going to have a You got to get a job now.
Yep, you got to do what you got to do. Mm-hmm.
So, and that's when I realized pride was overrated. Because
Yeah.
guess what? I was doing jobs I said I would never do.
Right.
So yeah, having those two parents are important.
Right.
Like I know you and your husband, you know, it fell apart, but even if it wasn't 100% good, your girl still got a perspective.
They did. They absolutely did. And he had full access to him after we got divorced. So like there was no time, you know, there was no time that he wasn't able, you know, to provide some sort of influence in whatever way, shape, or fashion. And at that point for me, I was like, we're not married no more, but like y'all's relationship is y'all's responsibility. Right. I left that up on them. But I would never deny you access or nothing like that because they need their daddy. Right.
Yeah.
Y'all have to determine what that looks like, you know, and are you fulfilling the necessary needs that they need? And I tried to stay out of it unless it was interfering with my household and all that. Because we had a couple of moments with that too, and stuff like that. But I would never, and you know, and I try to connect it, and I promise you, if we all lived closer, like y'all would have been the males in their lives as well, right?
Right.
All that kind of stuff. And they even know now if I need to call Uncle Fred, I'm gonna call Uncle Fred, you know, and stuff like that. So because I do believe there has to be a balance in both and all that. And I never believed that, because my mom used to do that, I'm your mama and your daddy thing. And I hated it because you can't be my dad.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
All right.
Be both.
Yes, you're taking care of all of the roles and the jobs or whatever the case may be. You're doing this by yourself, but like, no, you're a single mother doing this by yourself, but you're not my dad. And you can never be a dad. All right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of women started going haywire with the both roles thing or whatever. No, you're doing a great job or as best a job you can as a mom. You're an awesome mom.
You know what? I hear that a lot too. It's like I'm the mom and the dad. Like, nah, you're the mom. You're the mom.
You're an extraordinary mom, yes, you are, but you're not
right.
dad.
Yeah, because you don't even need to claim both spots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and my kids have teased me before and been like, "We're gonna get your Father's Day gift." I say, "Please don't, because I ain't your daddy. I ain't trying to be your dad. Like, it's hard enough just trying to be your mom. I ain't trying to be. No, thank you. I can't do that."
But I mean, my dad wasn't around, you know, from beginning to end, but I always feel like he came when I needed him.
Mm-hmm.
When I needed him, he was there. Because I had, you know, I had Papa, I had Uncle Percy, I had role models around. And when I got in those teenage years, when he needed to show up, he showed up.
Right. Yeah. And I think assume that you like. I tell everybody, there's no such thing as perfect parenting.
Right. Yeah.
And like you said, Brian, recognizing like, am I better at the little kid stuff or am I better at the middle? Like middle school sucks. I hate that age.
Like, yeah. I know, right? They too old to baby, too young to get a beer. Yeah. It's like
awkward, and they're trying to figure themselves out, and hormones are starting, and also like it's all these weird things and all that, right? And stuff. And I don't like that stage, but I mean, they're gonna talk to you, but like, ew.
Right.
You don't know
what are you going
through? Tell them
it's thinking, and then you don't know how to take care of the phone.
Right.
All the things, right? And stuff. So, and that's right. Also around the time where kids who are in the LGBTQ community start figuring that thing out, you know, or start discovering and all that. And so it's confusing. Like my baby was like, "I'm a lesbian." I'm like, "You're not, though. You don't know what I am." I was like, cool. And then, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, but. Now she's dating a man, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So there you go, right there.
End up with a white man. So I was like, in your white boy phase, it's okay. It's
right.
your thing and all that. So, but
Just gotta roll with it, man. Just gotta roll with it.
My kids are down with the Gustavo's Negros. My kids got that down. I'm telling you.
Mucho bueno. See,
he black and Hispanic, and yeah. You know my other
Right.
son, he's Hispanic too. So like we Gustavo's Negros. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta tell Drew he got to give me some Spanish lessons for real.
Yeah, for real.
I'm gonna pay him. We go. I want to look. But I be going in the store. I went in Popeyes yesterday. Like everybody at Popeyes is Mexican. I can't understand a word they saying, and I'll be wanting to know. Are you talking about me? Like, are you saying you slide a piece of watermelon in with this 3-piece? You know, I want to know.
I saw a video of this dude who they thought he didn't know what they was talking about, but I think he's Dominican or he might have been Dominican, I don't know, but he was dark skinned too. And he said, y'all think people don't know what y'all saying. Be careful because you don't know who knows Spanish. And he started speaking Spanish to him. I heard what you said. I know what you said. And they were trying to play it off like that. No, sir. Like, no. I heard you.
Yep.
Be careful.
I mean, and that's a risky thing too, because as common as Spanish people are in America, that I would assume a lot more people you know, is on what's that little app, Duolingo,
Yes.
than you think. You know what I'm saying? I would think, I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't.
Like, I feel like every woman, y'all go get y'all nails and told that y'all should know how to speak Asian, Vietnamese. Y'all should be fluent in that shit.
But you gotta figure out like who it is though, because you don't always know the ethnicity of the person. And
Right.
Yeah,
because Mandarin don't sound like Chapman.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I learned that the hard way.
I learned it from anime. I started watching anime.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, so we're gonna wrap it up with more solution-based stuff, and we already talked about the importance of both parents being present and all that. But we also understand that if you have a baby boy, or if you have an asshole, you know, and stuff like that, that you're going to that's hard to do and all that.
Right.
But find some male mentors. Like if you're a single mom, find some men in the community that can be, or you got a brother, you got an uncle, you got anybody who can offer that other parent kind of role, that other influence and all that, because masculine and feminine energy exist in all of us, and we need both of those energies to be balanced. And so when you lean hard toward one, then you don't get all of that, right?
Right.
All that. I'm pretty sure if we had lived closer and all that, then I could have had Papa or Uncle Percy to be a male influence, right? And all that.
Yeah.
So
easy. Yep.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, or even being around you guys more often, it would have been better for me, right?
Right.
Because I think it was once I got back to New Orleans and all that. Because most of my childhood I felt unprotected by male energy and all that. And so that made me like and stuff like that. I did run across a thing from on Instagram. Black and Brown Parenting is the site. And I'm gonna just read some of what this post says. In our Black and Brown communities, mental health was never a part of the conversation, not because we didn't need it, but because survival, generational trauma, and colonialism left no room for it. Our parents and grandparents carried wars, migration, racism, poverty, and silence. They didn't have the language, time, or support to process what they endured. So they did what they knew. They coped through suppression and control. But we are the generation breaking that silence. We're learning that strength isn't pretending everything is fine. It's sitting with the parts of ourselves that were never allowed to speak. It's understanding that holding it together and I turned out fine is not the same as being whole. World Mental Health Day isn't just awareness for us, it's liberation. Liberation from the cultural scripts that told us emotions make us weak. Liberation from the guilt that comes with saying, I need help. Liberation from the idea that silence equals respect. Healing looks different for everyone. For some, it's therapy. For others, it's mentorship, spiritual practice, or culturally rooted community spaces. And for many, it's a combination of all of these. As a parent mentor with a degree in South Asian and African colonial history and years of mentoring Black and Brown families across parenting, identity, and intergenerational healing, I don't just talk parenting, I teach cultural repair. I help communities name what they inherited, unlearn what no longer serves them, and move from survival to thriving. We need community, conversation, mentorship, culturally rooted spaces where healing doesn't mean abandoning who we are, but reclaiming who we were before the silence. For Black and Brown daughters, especially, our healing is an act of resistance. It's revolutionary and it's proof that we can rewrite the stories we were handed while honoring who we are and where we come from. So I thought that was a nice, and that's Black and Brown Parenting on Instagram. Because that encompasses what I was already thinking about. And like, again, all the stuff comes from the things from the past and we just keep carrying them down. And all the systemic shit it fucked us up. It fucked us up. Right. And so, but it's up to us to heal that. And we're going to say that at the end of every show. That is up to us. It's our responsibility to heal the things. And this is all about teaching everybody where the shit come from and what it looks like and what we need to do to change it and stuff like that. So we gave a few tips during the show. I'll add some more stuff probably to this feed and all that stuff so we can have some more resources and more ideas about how to fix that. But like, show up.
Yep. That's
up.
it. Yeah, just be there. Just fucking be there.
Right. You know, and again, you ain't got to be a perfect parent, but when you are screwing up, be able to admit that you're screwing up, get the help that you need to not continue to screw up. You know, create that balance. You know, don't you got to fix you so you won't be emotionally incestuous with your children. Right?
Yeah.
Because when they grow up, they need to go on and do their own thing. And you can still be a part of their life without overtaking their life.
Exactly. You just fall in where you fall in at. That's it.
That's
all it is.
And if you have your own life, you won't have to worry about that. So create your life
For real.
Yours,
Right.
Even while you're parenting, because you're more than a dad, you're more than a mom. Like there are other facets of you, and your validation should not. There's some, of course, there's some part of validation that comes from the children. Absolutely. We're not gonna pretend that doesn't happen.
Right.
But they should not be your only sense or your most strong sense of validation because you're more than just a parent. And that's all I got to say about that. Bet. All right. So that was good talking. That was good talking. And let's get on our consciousness. Be conscious, be aware, stay prepared, but don't never be scared.
Yeah.
Fred, you're on. Fred, is your turn.
Please.
One day.
Follow the PTBS podcast. You can like, subscribe, comment to help the algorithm. Comment. You can follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Are we anywhere else? Are we on Instagram?
Well, through Choosing Empowerment, I'll have that stuff up and all that. But I'm also going to start
Choosing Empowerment also. They're on all social media platforms.
You know, and I'm gonna start creating some spaces that's just PTBS so that we have our own channel. Because right now everything going through Choosing Empowerment, but like we in season 3, we need our own shit, y'all.
Yeah,
so,
we need our own slot.
So, we will be doing some more fantastic things in the future. So,
right. You know,
and like we always say, if you agree or if you don't agree, comment and let us know. We don't know how you feel if you don't say nothing.
That's true. That's good
Yeah,
stuff.
that is true. Shit. We will not be offended.
Not at all.
And we will appreciate it. Right. Shit.
Yes, and yes, and yes. So we appreciate y'all showing up tonight. Spread the word. Give us some topics if you want to talk about some things. You know, pop in. You know, we might invite you to come on the show. We like dialogue. You know what I'm saying?
If the comment fiery enough, hey,
You know,
we'll bring you on.
And
Come
you
on.
can
Be
fire it
ready.
up.
Don't.
And you might get fired up. Like you can fire it up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So remember, don't let nobody bullshit y'all this week. And what else is Brian? We don't. What's our tagline? Because I can't.
We don't die, we multiply.
No, we ain't trying to change your mind. We ain't trying to change your
We're
mind.
not trying to change your mind. We just trying to help y'all think a little bit more about the shit.
That's it. Y'all have a good one, and we see y'all next week. Yeah.